My name is Sienna Vale, 34 years old. By 4:10 a.m., the city and I are already trading promises. Me with gas station coffee and a steel-toed boot on habit. The city with its cracked sidewalks and alley cats that bluff until you know which ones just want to talk. I pick up trash for a living. I know when the bakery tosses yesterday's bread and which block never breaks down boxes. Pride is a bin you leave better than you found it. Quiet, measurable, mine. In my family, measurements are different. If there's a spotlight, it points at my older sister Leia, the job title my mother pronounces like a dessert. Marketing Director. I'm the reliable one who shows up in work boots and gets asked to take out the trash on my way out. Not a metaphor, a script. Last Sunday, the script played. Too many folding chairs. Not enough air. Mom's yard was a grid of, "We're so blessed," and "Don't sit there." Dad hovered by the grill and informed the Coles they looked weak, as if they might answer. When Laya finally breezed in with sunglasses like a headband and cupcakes shiny as ball bearings, the porch received her like a parade. "Gorgeous, Laya, you shouldn't have," Mom clapped. I slipped past with a foil tray of chicken I'd marinated overnight. "Smells nice," Mom said, already reaching for the next sentence. "Sienna, put it there. We'll see if it isn't too salty this time." Under the table, my daughter, Kara, 12, and glitter blooming, toyed with a straw wrapper. She was quieter than usual. Mom leaned over her, all staged warmth. "Where's my birthday girl?" "Next week," Kara mumbled, and Mom nodded like she knew. I'd reminded her 3 times this month. Adrian, my boyfriend, texted a photo of a crooked pancake he made before his shift. "Tell the birthday legend I'm practicing." I smiled at my phone, then felt it. Tessa, his ex, had hearted one of Mom's weekend posts. A small thing. But small things pile up. That's how trash bags and resentments work. Weight you don't count until your arms are tired. We ate off paper plates. When Kara shared a story about a class project, she got one polite nod. When Laya mentioned Seattle, the table hummed like a machine booting up. What airline, what lounge, whether business class is worth it for short flights. Dad told me honest work builds character. He said character like a consolation prize ribbon they keep on hand for folks like me. I grilled, while Laya drifted out to bump my hip. "You smell like smoke," she laughed. "Don't hug me later." The giggle stuck to my skin like grease. After food, Mom packed leftovers for your father, meaning hers, not mine. She handed the cupcakes back to Leia. "Enjoy your nice things," and handed me the tray to wash. Not could you, not please, just muscle memory. As we left, she kissed Kara's forehead with the same line she uses for every grandchild. "You're getting so tall, sweetheart," then turned to me. "Text me your schedule so we know when you can drive us to the airport Friday." "We" came pre-answered. In the car, Kara stared out the window. "Music?" I asked. She shook her head. Adrian called, and I let it go to voicemail. In the rear view, I watched my mother shrink on the porch while she waved at Leia's car with both hands. It's a small thing, shrinking, but that's how the big things start. At home, Kara asked to use my phone. "I want to show Grandma my art project," she said. "Maybe she'll hang it up." She typed. She smiled. The minutes stretched. When the screen lit again, Kara went very still. She didn't cry. She folded into a silence that made the house sound wrong. "Everything okay, Bug?" I asked. "Yeah," she said, eyes shiny but stubborn. "I'm going to draw a dolphin." Later, Maya used to be the name at this table, the one that steadied me. Life changes. Love becomes different shapes. Now it's me and Kara and a man who shows up with basil and a patient grin, and an ex of his who hearts my mother's captions like that's a contribution. The kitchen smelled like dish soap and something I didn't have a word for. After Kara went to her room, my phone buzzed on the counter. A message thread I hadn't seen because she'd sent it from my phone earlier. Kara to my mom with a photo of her cake slice and the candle stub, captioned, "Hi, Grandma. I wish you were here. I felt a little sad today." My mother's reply, "We need space. Please don't reach out anymore." Underneath it, a blue thumbs up from my father. The sentence sat there like glass under bare feet. The like made it a joke, and then not a joke at all. I walked down the hall and sat on Kara's floor. She was shading the dolphin's fin with fierce concentration. She hadn't seen it yet. My chest did a quiet, breaking thing and then stopped. "Tell me about the ocean," I said. She told me. I listened like it could undo the text. When she fell asleep, I sat at the kitchen table with the light off and let the refrigerator hum, announce we were still inside a house that worked. I reread those words until they were exactly what they were, a grown woman telling a child not to reach out. My father approving with a tap. Adrian texted, "How'd it go?" I typed, "Long. We're okay." Then deleted the part about the message because I didn't trust myself to put it down without setting something on fire. Money is the language my family speaks when they don't want to admit what they meant. Flights, emergency cards, rent top-offs. You have the best credit. I could see the ledger in my head, numbers I keep straight so their lives can wobble. I thought about the shared travel card I co-signed just in case. The lease add-on I'm helping with till it ends. The utilities I auto-pay because it keeps things simple. I saw each line item lined up like quiet accusations. They had asked my daughter not to reach out, and I was still funding the reach. I didn't move that night. I slept on it. I woke at 4:10 because that's what I do, laced my boots, and ran my route. The city was gray and honest. Bins up, bins down. The alley cat on Pine hissed and then let me scratch his head like always. By noon, I knew what I was going to do. Not out of rage. Rage burns fast and leaves you cold. This would be clean, precise. The kind of fix you can make with a screwdriver and a policy. That evening, I hugged Kara longer than usual and told her to pick the sauce for pasta. She chose the too salty cheese because kids know how to reward survival. After dishes, I opened the banking app and looked at the list of shared things. Flights, rent add-on, medical travel, utilities. The totals told their story. My hands were steady. I would not be the wallet for people who tell my kid to be quiet. I would not be the driver for people who wave at the wrong car. Something in me slid into place. It made a small sound. It sounded like a lock. In my family, trouble always wears a receipt. I didn't start as the bank. I became it the way you become a shortcut. One person cuts through, then another, and pretty soon it's a path people insist has always been there. 3 years ago, Dad handed me a half-completed application for a medical travel card. "It's easier if you fill this," he said, like delegating a chore. "We'll pay you back." Payments arrived like weather. Late, light, and not my decision. Then came the shared flight card, for emergencies only. Then the apartment add-on, just until the lease ends. Then 2 utilities quietly routed through me, because you have the best credit, Sienna. Compliments were the wrapping paper on the package I carried. I made peace with it the way you make peace with a squeaky hinge. You live around the sound. I told myself, it's family, it's messy. Keep the peace, keep the payments, breathe. 2 days before Kara's tiny birthday night at home, I saw the app notification. Charges from the shared travel card. Mom and Dad, round trip, leaving Friday. I called. "Hey, Kara's birthday is Saturday." A sigh. "Oh, sweetheart, we booked this ages ago," Mom said, drawing out the syllables like the word ages was a cure. "We can FaceTime." "Move it to Sunday," I heard myself offer. Traitor sentence coming out on its own. "I'll cover the change fee." The second I said it, I could feel the hook slide in. "Laya's schedule," Mom said. "You know how it is." "I do. My sister is the sun. We orbit." I told Adrian about the flights. He listened without trying to fix it. "Do you want me there Saturday?" he asked. "I want you to come Sunday," I said. "Let me see what the room sounds like without extra hearts in it." He accepted the boundary like a gift and said he'd bring cinnamon rolls for day after celebrations. We are not perfect together. We are careful. It feels like a decision, not a rescue. Friday night, the charges cleared. Saturday, we celebrated without them. You know that part. After the guests left, after the dolphin sketch and the quiet text from my child looking for a grandparent who had flown past her, after the reply that told a 12-year-old to stop reaching out, I sat at the wobbly kitchen table with my hands around a glass of tap water and stared at the accounts that had my name on them. Flights, rent add-on, medical travel, utilities. Every line said, "You will carry us." The message to my daughter said, "And we will drop you." I slept on it because I didn't want to make a policy out of a wound. I woke at 4:10 to the honest gray, worked my route, let the city's rhythm clean my head. By lunch, the decision wasn't hot. It was sharp. When my shift ended, I hugged Kara long and asked if we should do the too salty sauce again. She grinned. Extra. We ate, washed dishes, and I opened the apps. First, the shared flight card. I paused payments and removed my auto pay. My thumb hovered. I pressed. A bright green checkmark lit up like an exit sign. Next, the apartment add-on. Remove authorized payer. A confirmation screen. Are you sure? This may impact other users. I thought about the text to Kara. Yes, another green checkmark. Then the medical travel card. Minimum auto pay off. Card frozen. Utilities. I scheduled the last payments due under my name, then removed my saved info. The relief wasn't fireworks. It was a backpack sliding off after a long walk. I opened the family chat to Mom, Dad, and Laya. No emojis, no jabs. Just the truth in declarative sentences. Hi. Effective immediately, I'm pausing payments on all shared accounts connected to me. The travel card, the apartment add-on, and the utilities I've been covering. I'm also removing my name from any new bookings. Moving forward, please use your own accounts. To be clear, this change is because Kara received a message from you asking her not to reach out. I won't fund travel or rent for people who talk to my kid like that. Send. Then I texted my parents directly. I saw the message you sent Kara. We need space. Please don't reach out anymore. Dad, I saw your like. I'm asking you to apologize to Kara, not to me, to her. Until then, we're stepping back. Send. Finally, Leia. I'm done being the default payer. If you need help, ask your bank. Send. My hands shook for 5 minutes, and then they didn't. Silence held for the length of a pot boiling. Then the floodgate. Mom. Sienna. This is a huge overreaction. Laya. Are you kidding me? I have a conference in 3 days. Dad. Call me now. We need to fix this before it becomes a mess. Voice memos followed. Mom crying in italics. You don't understand. Kara manipulated me. My daughter, who still collects stickers. Laya snapping. Do you know how hard I work? I shouldn't be punished because you can't manage your feelings. Dad's gravel voice. Turn the payments back on. Be an adult. I typed one sentence to all of them. Apologize to Kara, then we can talk logistics. I put down the phone and stirred sauce until the bubbles looked like punctuation. Kara licked a spoon, declared it restaurant levels, and I decided to accept the compliment like a raise. While we ate, a DM slid in from Tessa, yes, that Tessa, arriving on a pink cloud. Families go through phases. Big spaces are meant to be shared, you know that. Don't let money make you small. I stared at the message like it was an insect trapped under a glass and typed back the only thing that wouldn't turn into a fight later. My home and my accounts aren't content. Wishing you well. I muted the thread. A minute later, I saw Mom had hearted one of Tessa's quotes about forgiveness. Triangles looked tidy from far away. At 8:30, Dad pounded on the door. He doesn't knock, he asserts. I left the chain on. Open up. No, I said calmly. Kara's getting ready for bed. He leaned toward the narrow space. You embarrassed your mother. You put your sister in a bind. That card is for all of us. Family is family. Family is how you talk to a 12-year-old, I said. Your mother didn't mean it. She typed it, I said. You liked it? It was out of context. There is no context that fixes please don't reach out anymore. He switched tactics so fast I felt the wind. Fine. We'll pay our part this month. Turn the payments back on. I'm not turning anything back on, I said. Use your cards. Use your accounts. Settle up with yourselves. He scoffed. Oh, you think you're a big shot because you're paying a few bills. You pick up trash, Sienna. Don't act like some CEO. Heat rose and then, miracle, left. You're right, I said softly. I pick up trash. I know what gets thrown out. For a second, he looked at 12 and failing a test. He tried one more door. We leave Friday. We need you to drive us. You need to apologize to Kara, I said. He exhaled that angry hoarse sound. This is revenge. This is closure, I said. He muttered a curse and left. I locked the door and slid down it until my spine found the steady hum of the fridge. At 9:12, Laya called 6 times in a row. I let the rings disappear into the wall. At 9:40, Mom texted something that sounded like her before anyone taught her to use feelings as weapons. What do I say to Kara? I typed and erased 3 drafts. Then, start with, I'm sorry. Start there and stop there. I set the phone down. The basil plant Adrian left on Sunday leaned toward the window like a tiny, stubborn witness. In the other room, Kara rehearsed a new song under her breath, the dolphin sketch drying on her desk. I thought about the ledger I'd kept for years, numbers, names, dates, and how peace, when you finally buy it, comes unbranded. Morning would bring the siren chorus, missed calls, screenshots, relatives with opinions, a fresh spin on loyalty, let it come. My accounts were my own again. My no had a spine. My child would not be billed for my family's comfort. I turned off the kitchen light and listened to the dark like it was an instrument I'd finally learned to play. By sunrise, my phone looked like it had survived a storm. 97 missed calls, dozens of texts, and a group chat that glowed like an emergency flare. Mom had switched strategies overnight. From "you've always been sensitive" to "I'm your mother" to "I might have a stroke if you keep this up." Classic escalation. Fear dressed as authority. Dad's messages were short, efficient, and cruel in the way accountants can be. We'll remember this. And then there was Laya, a full essay in all caps. Do you even understand how selfish this is? I have work travel. You ruined everything. She used everything the way some people use oxygen, dramatically, habitually, without checking if anyone else is suffocating. I scrolled past all of it until I saw the one message that mattered. Mom to Kara. I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. I love you. I shouldn't have said that. It wasn't perfect, but it was something. I took a screenshot, sent it to Adrian, and wrote, "Small miracle, 6:23 a.m." He replied, "Miracles are just good decisions aging well." Work steadied me. There's no ego in lifting what others leave behind. Trash doesn't lie. It just shows you who people are when they think no one's looking. By noon, I'd stopped checking the phone altogether. At 3:00, a voicemail from Dad. "You are making your mother sick with worry. You resend those changes tonight, or don't come around here again." He hung up like punctuation. Then Laya called Adrian directly. She must have dug his number out of an old family thread. I was rinsing my thermos when he walked in, phone held out. "She's on speaker," he said. "Good," I said, drying my hands. "Listen," Leia snapped through the speaker, voice brittle and bright, the way it gets when she's talking at an audience that isn't there. "I have a non-refundable hotel next week. Because of your stunt, I have to move money around. This is childish." "Hi, Leia," I said evenly. "You're on speaker too." She stuttered, then doubled down. "You know Mom gets overwhelmed. Why punish all of us?" "Punishment implies guilt," I said. "This is math. You broke trust. I subtracted access." "This isn't about money," she added too fast. "Then why are you calling about a hotel?" A pause, then a crack in the voice. "My corporate card is maxed, okay?" Honesty, sharp and accidental. Adrian whistled softly. "Sounds like you could use a budget, not my girlfriend." "Stay out of this," she snapped. "I would," he said, "if you stopped dragging her into your overdrafts." "Goodbye, Laya," I said. "Take care of your commitments." I hung up. That evening, Kara and I made dinner. She grated cheese like it was a mission, humming that half-finished song from the night before. The air smelled like garlic and peace. Then, at 8:07, a knock at the door. Not a pound, just a soft, uncertain rhythm. Through the peephole, Mom. No makeup. Plastic container of coleslaw in her hands, like a peace treaty wrapped in mayonnaise. "Hi," I said, opening just enough. "I came to see Kara," she said. Her voice was small. "If that's okay." I looked at Adrian. He nodded once. "It's your call." "Okay," I said. "Come in." Mom stepped inside like she was afraid the walls would judge her. Her eyes flicked over the living room, the banner from the birthday still drooping in the corner, the couch too ordinary to match her curated world. "Where is she?" Mom asked. "In her room," I said. "I'll get her." When Kara appeared, she froze for half a second, the way you do when you meet a memory you're not sure is safe. Mom patted the couch beside her. "May I?" Kara looked at me. I nodded. Mom took a slow breath. "Kara, I said a very mean thing. It wasn't true and it wasn't fair. I was jealous that I wasn't there, and instead of saying that, I made you feel smaller. That's not what love does. I'm sorry." Kara blinked hard, then nodded like a small judge rendering verdict. "Okay," she said, then softer. "Thank you for saying that." Mom's chin trembled. She reached into her bag and pulled out a wrapped package, a new sketchbook. "I thought maybe you could draw me being nicer," she tried to joke. Kara smiled a little. "I'll draw dolphins," she said. "They're better at forgiveness." Mom laughed, the real kind, shaky and human. "Dolphins it is." After a few minutes, Kara excused herself and went back to her room. Mom sat in the quiet, staring at the untouched coleslaw. I know, she said, embarrassed. I always bring that. Habit. It's okay, I said. Some habits aren't fatal. Others need surgery. She looked up, eyes red. I can't fix your father. He's him. But I can fix me. Good, I said. Start there. After she left, I found her container on the table. Inside the lid, a sticky note. Tell Kara I love her, even when I'm bad at showing it. I folded it and slipped it into Kara's sketchbook. The next morning, my email chimed. From Bank Support, you are no longer listed as a responsible party on any shared accounts. Just like that. Weight gone. Friday came. My parents' flight day. The family chat pinged with a photo. Mom and Dad at the airport, standing beside their luggage. No lounge this time. No tags. Just Dad's bitter caption. We managed. I typed good, didn't send. Kara wanted pancakes. I burned the butter. She said they were perfect anyway. We ate at the table that used to wobble but doesn't anymore because I finally fixed it. Small victories, one screw at a time. Adrian came by later with coffee and said, You look different. I deleted autopay, I said. He grinned. That'll do it. That night, the house was quiet. Not the heavy kind. The earned kind. The kind you get after paying a bill that's been overdue for years. Kara sat at her desk drawing dolphins. Mom's sticky note peeked out between the pages. I stood in the doorway watching her, feeling something I hadn't in a long time. Enough. Not triumphant, not bitter, just enough. Outside, a breeze rattled the recycling bins. The city hummed. My phone stayed face down, silent. I whispered to the dark, No one treats my kid like a bill. And for once, silence agreed with me.